Well, I once loved a woman, a child I'm told. I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. Well, I don't think twice, it's alright.
What about those lyrics? I once loved a woman, a child I am told. In other words, it's reminiscent of another song from this era, Just Like a Woman. I guess that was on Blonde a few years later. The idea that she loves like a woman, but she breaks like a little girl. And the same with this relationship. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Clarion Call and another in my continuing series of Deciphering Dylan. As you can see on the screen, we're going to go all the way back to 1963, Bob's second album, the Freewheelin Dylan. That album was the first one that really showed his amazing songwriting skills. He had, I think, one original on his premiere album. This was his second album, and most of these are originals. The song I'm going to do today is Don't Think Twice, It's Alright. And I'm not doing the original album version. I'm doing the version they formed Saturday night on 40th Farm Aid concert in Minnesota. I hope everybody saw that. What an unbelievable, great set he had there. It was very hard to choose which of those 5 songs that he did to react to because they all were really well done. I don't remember his voice ever sounding as good at 84 years old. It's absolutely incredible. But I picked this one, which was the finale of his set. I just thought this was amazing. I will put a link to the full concert in case you missed it. It's well worth a listen. Okay, here's the actual band. I know it's a little dark, a little hard to make out. Bob is playing the piano in the center of the screen. He's also accompanied by a bass player, guitarist, 2 guitarists, I think, a drummer, and there's a guy off in the back I think is doodling on the organ. So there's 5 other guys on the stage besides Bob.
Well, it ain't no use. Sit and wonder why, babe. Everything don't know by now. It ain't no use. Sit and wonder why, babe. It don't matter anyhow. Only a rooster crows at the break of dawn. Look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling home. Well, don't think twice, it's all around you.
Beautiful piano playing, beautiful singing from Bob. I did put the lyrics on the screen. There's pretty much follows the original, but there's a couple spots, one in particular, where he makes a variation from the original lyrics. And of course, Bob loves to do that, loves to play around with his songs. The song was written and recorded in 1962. The album didn't come out till the following year. And on the album cover that I showed you is a famous picture of him with his girlfriend at the time, Susie. Bob was all of 21 years old when he wrote this song. And they had lived together for a while. And then she went to Italy to study art, and for quite a long time, in fact, longer than originally planned. And Bob missed her greatly, and there's a number of songs actually that are written in this period when Bob was alone and missing the love of his life. This one in particular, he pretends that he's breaking up with her when actually it's her that left him alone. It was a way for him to get his feelings out, and it's just remarkable, 21-year-old boy, really. Nowadays, we think of 21 as hardly grown at all. To come out with such beautiful poetry. This song was also covered by Johnny Cash early on. So he recognized, and many people recognized, the beauty of Bob's writing.
Well, it ain't no use turning on your light, babe. Well, I never know. It ain't no use turning on your light, babe. I'm on the dark side of the road. Still I wish there was something you would do or say, try and make me change my mind and stay. We never did too much talking anyway, so don't think twice, it's all right. Ain't no use calling out my name, babe, like you never did before. And I didn't know you was calling out my name, babe. I can't hear you anymore. I'm thinking and I'm wondering, walking all the way down the road. Well, I once loved a woman, a child I'm told. I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. Well, I don't think twice, it's alright.
Now, before they go into this instrumental break, what about those lyrics? I once loved a woman, a child I am told. In other words, it's reminiscent of another song from this era, Just Like a Woman. I guess that was on Blonde a few years later. The idea that she loves like a woman, but she breaks like a little girl. And the same with this relationship. Thought he was in love with a woman, but found out that she wasn't really fully mature. Which is not surprising, considering how young these kids were when all this happened. And then he says, I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. Wow. I'm not sure what all that means, but his heart wasn't good enough, I guess. And before we get to, I think, the final verse, what a different sound. I mean, on that Freewheelin Dylan album, they were pretty much all just Bob and his harmonica and his guitar and his singing. There was no backup bands as far as I recall. And here he's got a 5-piece band behind him. It's such a different sound. And of course, his voice has changed so much. You know, he's got what they call the old man voice, which he does extremely well. He's been singing the old man voice for about 30 years, even before he was really that old. It's just an amazing, amazing sound he created here.
Well, I'm walking down that long and lonesome road, babe. Well, I'm bound, I can't tell. Goodbye, too good of a word, babe. I just gotta wish you well.
And there's where he deviates from the original song, which the line was, so I'll just wish you fare thee well. And here he says, I'll just sort of wish you well. It's a little even less of a goodbye than the original song. I just thought that was kind of fun, how he switched that up.
I ain't said you're treating me unkind. Could've done better, but I don't mind. You just kinda wasted all of my precious time. But don't think twice, it's all right.
And we just heard the beginning of Bob's harmonica solo. But that line there, you just kind of wasted all of my precious time. In other words, don't worry about it. It's okay. I don't care. You just wasted all my precious time. That's all. As if that was just a small thing. It's the bitter Bob that he had his relationship issues in the 60s in New York City with a number of women that he was associated with. As I mentioned in my last video about She's Your Lover Now. This was the first of the great loves of his New York life, and it didn't work out so well. But she wanted to be independent. She didn't want to be just an appendage to the famous Bob Dylan. She wanted to have a life of her own, and she did. Susie passed away a few years ago, but she did write a book all about her relationship with Bob. It was complicated. then Bob came out to take a final bow and left the stage. What's so amazing about this song, first and foremost, Bob's voice, which is just perfect, but also the pace of the song. If you remember the original, it kind of moved along with a certain intensity, but this one is slow and contemplative and maybe a little mournful, befitting, the 60 years that have passed and him looking back on his life and on that relationship. Perhaps his feelings have mellowed just a little bit about what happened there so long ago when he was so young. Anyway, I really, really encourage you to watch the full concert. It's one of the most amazing things that I've seen in quite a long time. And I hope you enjoyed this.